Do you evaluate the process and gave partial points? Like, meaning if I select the correct formula, but I may be confused in the middle, it's some way that I can get partial points?
Yes, I can look for partial points. It's harder to get the partial points in the multiple choice.
No, yeah, but then the short answers
Yeah,
ones.
that's why I put them there, so you have some hope to get
Okay.
to get them right. Yeah, because they're very long processes, and if you make one seemingly small error, it will destroy your chances. So
Yep.
I avoid that. Yeah. Yeah, that
Okay.
would destroy the average of the class if I didn't.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. The other way to do is to make a test in parts, but then that's not really appropriate either, because in reality, you have to do the whole thing yourself, right? You have to solve the whole problem. So picking out the parts, like the multiple choice picks out parts, it doesn't expect you to do the whole exercise, for instance, of the hypothesis test. But I don't do the whole test like that. Okay. Other problems or questions or anything you want me to try? Or any areas of doubt or insecurity?
Yeah, I have a questions, but it's with the final exam on the model 9.
Mm-hmm. The mock.
It's yeah. Um
I don't think I
it's
have all the solutions, right? I don't have everything there.
uh yeah, well, the most of it, but
Okay.
I have a question with the number 2 with the process, and well, I have some notes, but because I think I'm doing great, but I was
Mm-hmm.
close to the answer, not the answer.
Mm-hmm. This one here, number 2.
Yeah, that
Okay. In a study of 82 young drivers under the age of 32, 39 were men who were ticketed, 11 were men who were not ticketed, 8 were women who were ticketed, and 24 were women who were not ticketed. If one of these subjects is randomly selected, use the general addition rule to find the probability of getting a man or someone who was ticketed. Okay, my instinct is to put everything into a matrix for this one, just so I can look at all the values. I'm just gonna copy the details.
yeah will be the man with ticket 39, the man not ticketed 11, the woman ticketed 8, and the woman not ticketed 24.
Okay, so that's our data, right?
Yes.
And we want to find probability of getting a man. So it's all about how you interpret. So probability of getting a man or someone who was ticketed. Okay. So what do we know about or?
It's B, A or B, it's equal. Oh, it's general additional.
Right.
Mhm.
Does that get you the answer if you do that?
So until that part, everything is okay. I believe it's maybe in the execution of the formula that I mess up something.
Okay. So we can put in the probabilities So the total. How many people in total? How many people in total? Lost the connection, sorry. Let's do that again.
So the total of everyone, it's 82.
Okay, so male, what's the chance of being male?
47.
So you get male who are ticketed or male who are not ticketed, right?
It's Professor, it's 39. It's not 29.
Oh, 39.
It's it's 39, 11, 24. Yep. So yeah, 39 plus 11, meaning ticketed or not ticketed, it's 47. No, yeah, 47.
Was it
No,
47?
no, no, never mind, never mind, never mind. I was
It's
on
gonna
something.
be 50? No?
Yeah.
Okay. So 50 over 82. Hopefully this works. Ticketed, and then for ticketed, so I'm gonna find probability ticketed here. I'm gonna find the probability of men here,
Mm-hmm.
probability of women here, probability not ticketed here. Okay, so probability of ticketed,
47. 39 plus 8.
and then men, male and ticketed.
39.
39.
Yep.
So does this work? You do that?
Now, yes.
Yeah, what did you do wrong with the 47? You mixed these up?
Yeah, but
Say 47 here.
it was a little bit stupid.
Can
But
you put it down?
I just forgot to add the 50, the 50 and between the 82. So I just forget to add that one. But yeah,
Okay,
I
but
have pretty much everything.
it's clear. Okay, good. So lay
Yeah.
out the information, you know the rule, and just endure till you're finished.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And then here, everything is by 82, so you can just add and subtract. And what do you get?
Hold on. I don't know.
58 over
58.
Okay, and then you get the 71.
Yep.
Good.
Well, 70, 73, but yeah, rounded it 71.
Professor, so in the test, you will not say explicitly if it's a disjoint
No,
or something, like you will just
yeah,
imply it.
yeah, here you know that they're not disjoint because you can be male, you can, all of these, so all of these inside of here have a name, right? So the way I've drawn it, so this one is male and ticket. So when you make a matrix, I have some examples in the notes too. It's always interpreted, each entry is and. That's how you read these.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I did it, well, whatever. Well, let me do that. So usually you put the horizontal first.
It's okay, yeah. So the type, we have to figure it out before we do any calculation, because
Yeah,
it
so
changes.
just remember, if you have like, okay, well, I obviously made the table, but I laid out all my information and I say, yeah, you can be both, so that they have to be, they will overlap. Because as soon as I start using and, I know they overlap, so I can't, they're not disjoint.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are not probabilities, those are just numbers, but you can create the probabilities out of all of them.
And Professor, how would you present them if they were independent? How would you put them in the question?
You wouldn't have it be able to, if they're independent. Oh, it's the same. It's just that if they're independent, you know how to calculate this without all the details. So if
Yeah,
it's independent, then this one you know automatically. You don't have to search like that. The M and T, male. This would not need to be present. So let's say if I said they were independent, I would give you this one, like the total, and then I would give you this one, and then I wouldn't give you this one, and you can calculate it.
Okay, so unless it's like unless it's obvious what it is, you will tell us what it is. Like if it's independent.
Yeah, if you don't have the information to do this, if I don't give you that, I have to tell you, yeah. If it's independent, I have to tell you.
Okay.
and what
Otherwise,
once
you wouldn't have that number.
once you select the formula that you will use, your basically establish what is like if it's independent, additional,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Once
So
you lay
it's
it out, you can see
Mhm.
this one. In this case, these do not make 39 if you multiply, right?
Mhm.
So these are not independent.
Nope.
So from this matrix, so these are the mechanics of the matrix. Each of these are and. These are the totals, like what would you call that, marginal probabilities. Down here and across here. And then you can get also the conditional from this table. But I explained that too. But anyway, I won't ask you that on the test. But this would be among the men. So I could write something like, so then that would be among, in this column, in other words, what's the chance of being T?
Mhm.
So remember how you do that? It's just T and M divided by M. So just for everybody who's a little bit confused, I'm just putting the numbers here, and remember, I can get the probabilities just dividing everything by 82, 82, 82. But this would be from, so basically this would be my subset of the whole table. And so to find the probability here, I would divide this by being in this column to find the new, or the probability of being in condition stuck in this column. Anyway, it's not the question, but I'm just saying those are all the elements of this table. You can get all that information from that table.
Mhm.
All right, next one. Thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, thank you for answering.
There's something in the chat or just responses?
No, I believe it's just responses.
Yeah. Anything else?
Then, well, if nobody have another question, I have. Then the number 7 on the exam true. No, never mind. The number 8.
Number 8.
Mhm.
Okay. A random sample of size n is drawn from a normal distribution with a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of sigma. I'm pretty kind, right? I give you the symbols. Like I really direct you, but you have to remember the difference between the sample results and the population results.
Mhm.
I really fed it to you. Show your work in finding the probability that the sample mean will lie between 46 and 54. So which of the formula will you use for this?
So it's the, I just forget the name of the formula, but it's C lower and C upper, right? I need to calculate the C lower and C upper, and then looking for the P, the probability with the Z in the middle, right?
Why am I confused? Okay. Oh, yeah. So this is, okay, so this is the normal distribution,
Mm-hmm.
but remember that I'm asking for the sample mean. Whenever I ask for the sample mean, you need to use the formula. Sorry if I'm scrolling. I'm dizzy.
Don't worry.
Number 3. This is what you have to use.
Mm-hmm. That
That's
one.
the sample, yeah, sigma over root n. So that's the one you're going to use, and you're going to use this. No, you're not going to use this. Sorry, you're going to do the probability. Sorry. So this is 3. This is before inference. That's
Yes.
located. Yeah, because you don't have, you actually have the mean and standard deviation. When you have the mean and standard deviation, you're here, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do that one. So the keyword here is sample mean. Oh, I went the wrong way. Here. So that's what you want to do. And you're going to use the fact that X is given as normal 50, 100, but with n equals 25, X bar is normal with 50 and 100 divided by square root of 25, which is 100 divided by 5, which is 20. And then you standardize this. Right?
I'm doing a little bit different, but I believe it's the same, pretty much.
How'd you do?
Yeah, no, but it's basically at the end of the story, it's the same. Yeah.
Okay. So then you got negative something here.
Yep. And positive to the right. It's -2. Well, in my process is -2 and +2.
0.2?
Yeah, sorry, point 2. And then that is, I cannot see what I write here, but it's the total is 90. No, sorry, 1586.
Should be
Yeah.
very, yeah, very tight here.
Mm-hmm.
So you found
You
this
have
here.
0.4207 and 0.5793.
Thank you, Marie.
Like this?
Yes.
Oh, I just forgot make the bell.
Like this?
57.93. 57.
Okay. So you're gonna take the big one minus the small one just to get this area here.
Mm-hmm.
Point 1586.
Is that okay now? You see it? So you did something in there, maybe with the 0.2, Vanessa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. So just so make sure you have enough time. Everyone can check their answers twice. 3 times even. Do it on a separate day so that you can I don't know what's happening with this dot. Do it on a separate day so that you have fresh
Yeah,
eye.
no. Considered it was 3 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't.
Sure what happened to my cursor. Up in here. Let me out. Okay. Thank you for the question, Vanessa.
Mhm.
Other people, or Vanessa again.
uh, so I'm taking notes.
Sure, everybody appreciates the questions. Oh, there it is. I solved this one on the second page.
Yeah, I have other stuff, but okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. So maybe this is my issue. Maybe this is not the math issues. But maybe it's a little bit difficult for me identify the answer on the number 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. So maybe I don't get it how to like at the end I'm just try and error, but it's not, I don't know how to explain. It's not something that it's too easy for me or something like that. I don't know. It's
Okay.
my knowledge.
Okay, so let's remember what I told you about hypothesis testing. So the steps in
Mhm.
process are that you read a question and first you ask yourself, is this a problem? Is this mu or is it P? That's the first question. If it's mu, you have a second question. Sigma given or not? Okay. So once you know if it's about the mean, it's about an average weight or average sales or average loss of liquid, or it's about an average, then you know right away that you need to set up the hypothesis always like this. That's going to help you because you need to know this is an equal and you need to know this is a mu, not X bar. Always put the parameter here. And then also you know that the number here has to be the number here. Now the one that I've given you there is not as hard, but there are some exercises that are a little more confusing. So that's always the pattern, and never goes away from that pattern. So then you have to read the problem to identify so we have everything pretty clear except this part. What goes here?
Sorry, Professor, can you go a little bit back because I lose my internet connection?
Oh, okay. All right, so the first question, when you know you have to do something with inference or it's hypothesis testing, is to ask yourself, is this a question about the mean or is this a question about the proportion? If it's about the mean, you have to know if you have to check if sigma is given or not. If sigma is given, use number 5 formulas. If sigma is not given, use number 6 formulas. The mean looks like this, if it's the mean. Always like this. So you know the mean is here, not x bar, okay? And not a number. It's always written the parameter mu. And then here, whatever number you put here, you also put here. And there's an equal sign here. So that avoids you know, that limits the mistakes you can make. So the only mistake you can make in this problem is the sign here. If it's a question about P, you will write automatically, you know, the format is going to be P equals, and similarly, whatever number I put here, I also have to put here. So that's the approach. So we're going to look for. So the only question is, what sign is it? So let's read what it says. It says, I can put that up in a second. Okay, normal distribution, mean and standard deviation are given. So we're number 5. And mean and standard deviation from the distribution are given. So that's why it's number 5. That's sigma is 15. A nutritionist believes that the daily ingestion of vitamin C prior to taking the test will result in higher scores. A total of 40 students will be randomly, too many B's, will be randomly selected to receive 250 milligrams of vitamin C each day for 60 days prior to the test. All right, so there's not too much information there, but we believe, or the nutritionist believes, that taking the test will result in a higher score. So because equals has to be in the hypothesis, in the alternative, we would put the greater sign, higher score. Is it better? Is that clearer?
Yes.
That is Vanessa again.
I'm back, but yeah, my computer was off. Um, but don't worry, I will go back
I can
in the
repeat.
video.
So where did I lose you? At which part? At just here or from the top, from the beginning?
No,
Maybe you can connect on your phone.
The what?
You can connect on your phone too, so you have a backup.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
connect.
true, but it's the internet. It's something the internet in my house. So
Yeah, but I'm like, if you use your cell, I don't know if you have data. I don't pay
yeah,
attention.
yeah.
Mhm.
But don't worry, I will go back on the video and it's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, no, I'll repeat. It's important. So okay,
So
I'll go back to
yeah,
my
to your notes,
iPad.
please.
I'm sure people will appreciate it. So what I said, I laid it all out here.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. I just the use no. Q2 it's equal to standard deviation giver or not.
Okay,
So
yeah. So question number 2 is, if sigma is given, you use number 5. If it's not given, you use number 6 formula. And it looks like this always, with equals, and then this. If it's P, then it always looks like this, but you have to make the initial decision of whether you're talking about the mean or proportion.
okay.
So the only question you have, because you know that whatever number you put here, this is an equals, the only real choice you have, if there's any doubt about the number, hopefully this resolves it. The only real issue you have is finding the sign here. And when you read
And
the problem,
no, continue.
when you read the problem, what does it say? About
It's,
what part of the problem is the important part?
the division follow a normal distribution with mean of 100 and standard deviation of 15.
I continue.
And nutritionists believe that daily ingestion of vitamin C prior to taking the test will result in the higher scores. A total of 40 students will be randomly selected to receive
This is the key
250
word, right?
milligrams.
The higher scores is the key word.
Yep.
So that's why it's positive.
Okay, so that's why it's okay.
So all of these, so these ones are already out, given what I told you. Those are out,
Yeah, because it's
not new.
Mhm.
And they're, yeah, so those are out. And then those are eliminated. And then you have to just decide these ones. So it said higher score is what we want.
So
So
it's
that's
greater
here,
than.
but not a different score and not a lower score.
Mhm.
But everything is driven by the fact that we have to put it equals here. It's forced to put an equals here. So the thing that you're testing for goes into the alternative.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Other people, other questions, unless Vanessa can keep going.
Professor, in those type of questions, you don't have to show your work because you have to read the question to able to answer, right?
You can, if, okay, so like, if you look at what I put here. In that type of a question, no, right? You don't have to show your work.
Mhm.
You can show me your logic, like you could underline higher score to show me that's why you
Okay.
did it. Something like that to show me your logic and thinking. And
Eh.
if it's an issue about the language that's debatable, then I'll know that you considered it and that's why you got confused, and then I'll probably give mercy points. Sometimes I allow students to have two options or two answers given the lack of reflection or clarity of my questions. So sometimes I do that.
And maybe underline the 100, like mean of 100 words. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one's kind of obvious, but this is the decision point here, the higher.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
And then you see
Thank
here,
you.
like in 11, I wrote something here. I didn't put drawings because it's hard for me to put there, but you can write something. Not all of them, but some of them you can write. Like here, I was lazy, I didn't write anything, but you can. Okay. But just to show me your logic and to get my attention. If it's not clear, I'll see. Also, you can also, after it's graded, you guys can ask to see your exams. I'm gonna do my best to put the grades before I post them, so you can see them.
Okay.
Ask me to see your exam. Hopefully they extend the deadline for the grades, but they don't usually. They don't usually for the trimester. And I'm gonna have to cancel everything the day that I'm marking, so. But I'm gonna try and get everything ready before I have to put the final exams together.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Then the 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's 14. Grade point
So
averages at a large university are known to follow normal with an unknown standard deviation. So that tells me, what am I looking at? Formulas 5 or 6?
5.
Unknown.
No, 6.
No,
Six.
no,
Six.
6. 6. Okay.
Okay, so
The
that's
not known.
feed you right there with the information. A random sample of 20, so now these are the sample results, is selected and their mean is 3.21. So notice for all of them, I have the same number. So that's not going to be your decision point. And all of the standard errors are the same. So the only thing you have to find out is the critical value. But because it's unknown and you have to use number 6, you have to find T. And T of 19 degrees of freedom.
Mhm.
So don't forget that part. So as soon as you identify its T, write it down or draw something and put a big T 19 down so you remember, because there's a lot to read here and a lot of parts to consider. Just write it down right away so you don't forget. So you're working in T and 19th row and you want the 80th confidence interval. So scroll to the things, we go to 19. And okay, so don't get confused by these because it's easy to get confused. Just go down here and go to 80. So that's here. 80 in the middle is 10 on each side. So as I scroll up, I will see that the right tail is 10. But on first glance, I would go from the bottom and use a ruler or paper to guide your eyes. You can print the exam, of course. 1.328. That should be it. And that's it. So once you get that one,
Yeah, you basically get the answer.
you get the answer for that one. Okay. What else? Thank you again, Vanessa.
Mhm.
Gabriela?
Hi, so I have a question. So for the short answers, what elements will you look forward for us to put there so we can achieve the most points other than it being correct?
You have to show me your solution. So I have some examples here. These are all short answer. So yeah, you have to show me, obviously for the if I ask you to provide, I tell you here very explicitly, compute the appropriate test statistic, compute the p-value, like to get the 5 points. I think I made it 5 points. They are each 5 points, no, 6 points, 6 points each. So I think it's pretty clear, but you can ask me if you're not sure. You can text me or ask me, email me and say, what do you want? If I agree it's not clear, I'll give you more information.
Great, thank you.
Are you, are people still studying? Are you still reviewing the review exams?
Professor, in the mock final, I am a little lost on the last exercise in the short answer, section C.
Oh, see, I called that, I think, the long answer. What did I call it? I call it, short answer. Okay, required. So I have, so, in the, hold on, let me make sure you've seen. Okay, so here in this distribución aproximada del examen final, I tell you that there's going to be a required short answer that is from here. Module 6 and 7, page 42 to 48. So I'm going to pick a question from there. So go back to that and see what I did. I have all the answers there. Different values, but the process is mostly there. Let me show you. Okay, so I have to go back to 6 and 7, so 6. And the notes. So between here and here, there are several problems, but I have the answers for everyone. Except for this one, but I did it in class. So it starts here with this one. So this is page 42. This is page 43, and I have the answer. This is page 34, 45. So this is the one similar to the one on the exam.
Okay.
I don't even know if I use the same numbers there or different numbers. Did I use different numbers? No, maybe the same, but I can change the numbers. Yeah, it's exactly the same for this one. So you have to practice the process. If you want, we can do that together and go through it. But you know, I might give this one and then just change the values here. You have to follow through the process. It takes some time, but it's a very practical exercise.
Okay,
Do you want me to try this one? Anyone?
Yes.
please.
Yeah, please.
What about the other one? What about there's 4 of them? So that this was, sorry, not this one. Where am I going? This is the notes. Okay, so there's this one that we did together, pretty sure. And then this one that I discussed. No, I don't think I discussed this one, but you have the answer here. You have to go step by step. This one we discussed with the matrix, where you have to take in pairs all the variables and their scalar multiple to find a new formula for each one. And then this one. Okay, so I can do this one.
Okay,
I will put the question on my iPad. Give me a moment.
Professor, this is on the model 6, right?
This is in 6.
yes,
So
Okay.
follow very closely with this statement here in distribution examen final. That's going to guide you on what I expect. No surprises.
Mhm.
Right? So
Mhm.
you don't have to study certain things, you go on
Mhm.
things, etc.
additional to that, you mentioned that vice was not included in the exam, right?
Base, yeah, it's not. It's
Base, I'm sorry.
yeah. The base. Yeah, I didn't say omit. Base is out. Hmm.
Professor, what page is that one?
45, 40, 45.
Thank you. Hmm.
Okay. I'm just opening it in my iPad. Right. So this is gonna use the rules of mean and variance. I think I gave the wrong one. Okay, I'm ready. Suppose that the weight of a checked bag for an airline. See, this is nice at the end of the semester because everyone's going to travel. So it makes you feel like, oh, I'm going to finish this and I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going to decide what's important and you're going to feel good. Exam is over. Okay, suppose that the weight of checked luggage for an airline is a random variable X that is normally distributed with an average of 50 pounds and a standard deviation of 30 pounds. So X is the weight of checked baggage. 50 pounds, 30 pounds. Suppose that the weight of carry-on luggage is a random variable Y that is also normally distributed with a mean of 10 and a standard deviation of 3. So it's, you know, smaller bag. Should be smaller. The correlation between the weight of checked and carry-on luggage is negative 0.1. What is that information?
R.
R.
Yes. So because this information is given to me as though it is this is like population information, right? So this is from these are parameters and everything. So when I have parameters, I know I can use the Greek letter rho for R. This is R. And that the R between X and Y is negative 0.10. What does it mean? It means that, yeah, what does it mean? Well, how can you interpret that? In terms of this problem.
And it goes down. We're
So let's see, if the carry-on is heavier, right? That if the checked bag is heavier, what do we know about the carry-on?
The carry-on's supposed to be lighter.
Yeah, so let me repeat again. If the checked bag is heavier than average, the carry-on is gonna be
Lighter than average.
right? So remember the discussion about the correlation and me going like this and putting the data here. Oh, sorry, not like that. I will put the data here. So this should make you remember this. Go back to the scatter stuff, right? And then I drew this. And I said higher and lower, where's the data, blah, 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 blah. In this case, it's gonna go down. I actually have to redraw that now. It's gonna be very scattered and go like that. Down. It's 10. It's 0.1. It's very small, very scattered, but still negative going down. All right, so what does it mean? It means now that I can combine these because that's the information on just checked and just carry on. But now we're going to create the variable for the whole package, like having both as you go on the plane. So the total, W, a new variable. We create a new variable that's called X plus Y. So because I'm going to hold the weight of both bags. So I have to calculate the whole weight, W. That's it.
I multi-
Uh-huh,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I multiply it. I said W equals 50 times X plus 50 times Y. I
Okay,
don't know.
so this is gonna be the W for each person. But what about the fact that there's 50 passengers? So now this is my W, but what about everybody together, right? So I'm gonna talk about the total weight. So there's gonna be 50 and then 50. Now, some people will have very light carry on or some will have nothing, but that's captured in the distributions that are here. Like some people here, like within 1 standard deviation, people are having a bag between 20 and 80 pounds. Wow. And within 2 standard deviation, some people don't even have a bag. Okay, so that's what those distributions mean. Notice this one is much smaller. So even at 3 standard deviations, most people have a bag because that will be 3, 9. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm just going plus and minus, plus and minus. So this is the distribution that captures all those features. Some people have a carry-on, some people don't, some people have but few people don't have a carry-on. Most people have a carry-on, is the other way to say that. Okay, so then 50Y. So that's the total of everybody. So I want to learn about this new variable, and we don't have to study 50 people and collect data for weeks and make a just histogram and get a distribution and check we can just use the information we already have on those 2 different variables, and we have rules for means and variances of a sum of variables, if you recall, or go back and look at that again. So what is the mean and what is the variance of this new variable? So if you go back to the rules, we said that, so I use these E's here. And I said the mean of the sum is the sum of the means. So it goes right through. And this is supposed to remind you, because this is all population data, it's actually the distribution. This is the mean. So this is 50 times mu x plus 50 times mu y, which is already given here. So what do you get?
3,000.
Oh, hold on. I have,
Oh, you mean like, oh, sorry.
hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay, where was I? Yeah, what'd you guys do without me? This is 50 times 50?
Yes, plus 50 times
Five.
10.
10. Because this is up here. Mu x, and this is mu y. So this is all straightforward. and easy to calculate. There's only one part that gets a little confusing. So what do you get?
3,000.
3,000.
Okay, so that's the average. Now let's go back to the question. It says, the airline permits service of 50 passengers and limits the total weight of luggage checked and carry on to 3,100. So on average, we're pretty close, 3,000, right? Because this is the average of all the people. Use the following steps to determine the approximate probability that the total weight limit is exceeded. So we're going to check, we're basically going to see if using this mean, and we need the standard deviation to see if we exceed this amount in total. So what do we need next? We did this part, the mean. Now we got to get the variance. Some students do their tests on the iPad and they make everything so small I can't even read it when I get it. So have mercy on me. Right. I used to do that too. I found some old notes and I can't even read them now without my glasses. Like notes from what 15, 20 years ago of my own. Okay, so variance. Let's do the variance next. So the variance of W is equal to the variance of 50x plus 50y. And how do we deal with that? What did we remember about the variance formula? You guys want to look back at it, or I don't want it to look new because we did spend some time with it. So the rule was that if the mean of the sum is the sum of the means, but the variance of the sum is not, well, I guess it's not exactly the sum of the variances because there's correlation. If there's no correlation, it's just like similar. It's similar. The other thing we have to remember is when we use the variance and we have something multiplied in front, because it's the variance and because to get the variance of a variable, we have to square all those deviations from the mean. Then we take the square root. Because of all of that, this thing in front also gets squared. So at the very minimum, this is going to be 50 squared, variance of x plus 50 squared variance of y. But there's also an extra term here because there's actually correlation. So this is going to be 250 squared, if you guys remember back, times 50 squared, times covariance x and y. But I don't have the covariance, I have the correlation, but I can find the covariance. Do you remember how? So remember that the correlation is the standardized covariance. Or for R, it was the covariance of XY divided by SX, SY, right? The same sort of thing. So if I have this and this and this, don't I have the covariance? And I have them here. Are you guys with me here? So the covariance, so everything was pretty straightforward until here. all it is about, okay, what's the covariance? I can write this in a different way, but I'm basically doing that now to show you where it comes from. I'm going to get this from taking covariance xy is equal to, in this case, negative 0.1 times 30 times 3. So you can just put all those numbers down here. So go back and see the formula and the discussion about this if it's confusing. It's very long, so try not to make a mistake. I'm gonna put this all in the numbers that we have. So so this is 50 squared. Vx is 30 squared. Sorry, I think it's not clear here. So it's just a bunch of numbers, 20, 50 squared, 50 squared. And covariance is negative 0.1 times 30 times 3. There you go. So what you have now, so all we keep doing until we get to inference, all we do is derive distributions and use them to make estimates. And that's what we're doing here. But the distribution is going to be for a joint variable, the sum of two variables we already know. Using the means and variances rules, we can find the mean and variance of the new variable. So yeah, give me a number for this, and then we'll do the last part.
Like the result of all
Yes.
that calculation.
Yes.
Well, I got 2,227,500. I don't know, because my formula looked a bit different than the one you did, like
Okay.
from the numbers.
Ah, I made a mess. Okay, I'll just leave it for now. Anybody else confirm?
I'm in process.
Right.
But I do have your answers, and they concur
Okay,
with what I had.
okay, good, thank you. So what you can do, well, I don't know if you're using your calculator,
Mhm.
you can just store or write, some of the numbers down. But the way I use the calculator is I would calculate this and store 1, calculate this and store 2, and calculate this and store 3, and then just do recall 1 plus recall 2 plus recall 3. That's how I would work with that calculator. Oh, you can put it in Excel. Find the technique best for you.
If when we start the exam, we find an exercise like this one, and we want to resolve the last step in Excel, can we, is the first question, and the second one is just attach the calculations to the exam, or what?
You can, what I would suggest is that you use the tabs of Excel to solve each exercise that you want to solve in Excel. So it's easy for me to find it and I'm not searching. And then you send me the Excel output, and just here, you just can mention see Excel and put your final answer. But I need
Got
to
it.
see the whole formula and everything like this, but then just the final answer.
Okay.
You have to show me what you're doing.
Mhm.
Professor, I have a little bit of trouble in the last part. I have to square those 50s.
Yeah.
I have
You can do 50 times 50 and then square at the same time too. There, it's all multiplied. Everything is multiplied. Multiply, multiply, multiply.
okay.
You want me to show you how to do it fast? Or efficiently? With the calculator?
Yeah, because I don't know how to store
Okay, I'll
the.
show you that. All right, so all right, so I'm going to multiply 50 square times 30 square equals. Okay, remember I set up the calculator and I asked people to make sure their calculator honors order of operations, and the way that we did that, just to make sure your calculator is working the same as mine, is you hit second format and you scroll down, down, down to here. And if it doesn't say AOS, you need to convert it and say second set, it'll change it, but change it to AOS. And that will make it operate in with order of operations, choosing to do exponents, brackets, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract in that order. It's really important, or you're not going to get my answers. So, okay, so 50 squared times 30 squared equals this. So I'm going to put store 1. So I hit store and number 1 because there's 10 storage slots starting from 0 to 9. Store 1. And then 50 squared times 3 squared equals store 2. And then 2 times 50 squared times 50 squared times 0.1 negative times 30, don't give up, breathe, times 3 equals this, store 3. And it's a negative because it was a negative covariance. So I have recall 1, recall 2, and recall 3. So I'm going to add them together. Recall 1 plus recall 2 plus recall 3 equals, I don't know, I feel like I did something wrong. Recall 1, let me repeat. Recall 2, recall 3. What did I do wrong?
My total is 2,002,000 something.
Yeah, it should be, it should not be negative. Let me try this again. 50 squared times 30 squared. I think I forgot the 30 squared. Store one. Oh no, that looks familiar. 50 square. Oh, yeah, no. It has to be a positive. 50 square times 3 square equals store 2. And then 2 times 50 square times 50 square times 0.1 negative times 30 times 3. I don't think I did anything wrong. Is store 3, recall 1. What have I done wrong? Something's wrong. What about my solutions?
I believe you're not multiplying.
What am I not multiplying?
Like when you on the calculator, when you put like 50,
Oh,
like
I know what I did wrong. I know what I did wrong. I
like
know.
you're not putting
No,
50
it's not
plus
square.
30.
No, this is the problem. There's no square here. I got carried away. In the formula, you just multiplied.
That's what that was my question, Professor.
Yeah, that's the problem. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got carried away and I forgot. There's no square on these formula. Yeah, it's just, oh no, it's not 0, but they're not squared. Just these are squared and these are not squared. I knew that, but whatever, I screwed up. Okay, so let's do the last one. 2 times 50 times 50 times 0.1 negative times 30 times 3. I'll put up the general formula. Recall 1 plus recall 2 minus recall 3. Is that good? 2,317?
It was around 2 million, but it was 2,000,2027.
In the clave?
Yeah, in your solutions and also what I got, it was 2
What-
million.
50 square times 30
If you
square.
change the professor, like the professor that deleted now, the square root of it will be the same result.
Oh, yeah, I didn't finish. Right. This is just the variance.
Mhm.
Yeah, so 2 times 50 times 50 times 0.1 negative times 30 times 3. There's a number, I don't know, whatever.
Yes,
That's the right
yes,
one.
that one is the result.
I just entry. So, okay, so we get a variance equal to 2. I'll make this big in a moment. 2,227, 500. And then two, 2, 500. And that's the variance. So the rule for the variance in general is the variance of x plus y is equal. Well, I gotta put something in front. Ax plus by is a squared sigma x squared plus b squared sigma y squared plus 2ab covariance x and y. Not squared. I squared the a and b, the 50s, and confused us. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take the square root because they asked for the standard deviation. So that number, square root, this is also like sigma xy. I mean, it's more than xy though, because it's 50x, 50y. So that's why I'm not going to write that. So then the standard deviation is, 1,492 0.48.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so these are big numbers, but it's the same process, just keep going. This is the standard deviation. This is the mean. So you treat this as the mean, this is the standard deviation of this new distribution that you will calculate the probability that X is more, not X, but W, the new variable is more than 3,100. So you standardize, you convert this to Z, and then 3,100 minus 3,000 divided by 1,492.48, or you can just put the square root. It's probably easier to write that 2,227,500. And it goes to a simple number that you can use the table to solve. So you can have a calculator, you can have a table, you can have Excel, but you still need to know what you're doing. Like you can't, you gotta know what you gotta know how to ask the questions. It's just like Google and the internet. If you don't know the question to ask, you're not gonna find an answer. 2,227,500. And what do you get?
Um, 0.0670. I think I said it too fast there. 0.0670.
Yeah, but
Yes.
our table only has 2 values, right? But we could put this in Excel, I guess. We're gonna be here. And we want to go more than it, so more than 0.07 standard deviations from the mean. What you get.
Point 7580. No, I'm sorry.
On the table, I got that was 5259, that number.
What's 52?
59, like,
Yeah. I should.
and yeah.
How am I doing with my clave? 0, 52, 59. So then this side must be 1 minus.
Yes, 1 minus 5259.
I don't know, feels like it's too high or something.
Well, on your answers, you also got 47%.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it does seem really high. I thought the same as well,
Yeah.
but that's the answer.
Answer. So it means that there's like 50% chance that they exceed the total weight limit.
Yeah.
So you don't worry about it. Enjoy your flight.
But it might crash.
But my crush. Well, you know what? Delta gave me during the pandemic, they increased my status. I didn't have any status in Delta, but they made me silver elite or silver medallion. I never had status before in flying. And I appreciated it, but they were trying to get me to fly, and they really do push me to fly. But you know that people who fly with status can bring so much onto the plane. I can bring 70 pounds. I can bring as many bags as I want. I don't pay for my 70-pound bag, either does my husband. Anyway, just say there's a lot of weight. They had a lot of weight on the plane, and they treat you so bad to move a toothbrush out, if you're non-status. I don't have to worry about that anymore, but yeah.
You're very lucky.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I'm just very happy, and I keep trying to fly so I don't lose my status now. Now I'm addicted.
You see, that is how they get you.
They won. They do. They know. The marketers know they won. They won. They beat me. Yeah. I'm just a sheep now.
We all are in some ways. And
Yeah.
I would be too if I got that offer.
Oh yeah. And yeah, I just try to fly 3 times a year, so I keep it. Yeah. It doesn't take much. I think they lowered the standards. I think it was probably like a diversity thing, but they haven't really advertised it. But I think it was a step to get otherwise people who wouldn't get that status to be flying. And because I go so far when I fly, my points add up really quickly. Anyways, so yeah, that's the problem. I mean, that's the exercise. So you guys are good with this one. So the only part that even I screwed up was this one, just because it's so long. But don't forget, those are not squared. It's one of each. In a way, it's squared, but one of each. Don't square them on top of that. And it happens that they're the same number and it's actually squaring in the end. But all right, questions, more questions.
Thank you, Professor, for that.
No problem. And the other ones, let me know if you want any of those ones shown, demonstrated. Well, I'm able to use the Greek letters here because I'm working with the population information. That's why I'm able to say mu, sigma. But this is mu W, that's what it is.
Professor, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So I know this is a final test,
Uh-huh.
but from the first models, it's like I supposed to go. So sorry, it says scam likely call me. I supposed to to go back since model 1 and review everything because it like how is distributed the test. I know we have distribution of the things we don't need to review, but how can I split it in the first models?
Let's see, what did I say in the platform? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing that. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to open.
Mhm.
Okay, so for 2 to 5, notice that I asked you a question on regression. I could ask you some questions about probability is here, so it could be regression, something basic in research, in like data collection,
Mhm.
or I think the idea that sorry, I'm just thinking. Oh yeah. Okay, so the idea that module 2 and 5 are tested is kind of like you still need to know the normal distribution, you still need to know, you do need to know regression. If anything, it's most likely from regression, because the rest is kind of like distributed, because you have to know the normal and you have to know the basics of the mean. But I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Okay.
Just maybe review regression. And otherwise, or anything that you really feel uncertain about in the design part. Is there any questions you still have about the design stuff? Or about that you need to remember? Go back and see, problems you've done or questions you've had and review them. Let me know. I mean, I guess I'm not supposed to help you, but if but that's basically it. But it's not very much weight anyway, so don't worry if you're still confused about that. Some things back there. But regression for sure, review regression. Okay. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
It's mostly, like I say, it's mostly the inference and mostly the inference stuff and sampling distribution of the statistic, that kind of stuff.
And probability, right?
And probability. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be some probability parts. Have you finished the exercise reviews? Review 1 and 2? Are you still working? Because I mean, you guys can continue studying. I don't expect, some of you will not have studied everything.
Yeah, I still have a bit of the last module to go. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah,
Review
me
exercise?
too.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. The only thing is that I really can't help you for the next few days. So you have to go to my my ghost voice or my voice online. Hopefully you can find everything there that you need. I'm sure you
There
will.
you go.
I repeat myself. I just keep repeating myself. And then in the repetition, there's always errors. So it's better to go back to the original. Always a risk of me contradicting myself. No, not contradicting, but sometimes I make some errors when we talk. So let's see. So we did the hardest one, right? So all I could do in that problem that we just did is change some numbers, but you can still follow the process. The same with
Professor, under the mock final exam, we can do I don't know what is the number. The 17?
what about this
believe.
one, number 4? Was this okay, you guys? This whole discussion here. Anyway, have a look at that. 17.
Well, it's the section B short answer option. Yeah,
And
that one.
Number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the regression. So I have several examples of regression in the notes. So in this one, the big challenge for students seems to be knowing which one is X and which one is Y. So I said fat versus protein. Because I put them like side by side, everyone messed this up. No, what? Y versus X. So this is Y and this is X. I mean, I don't know why people screw it up, but anyway, this is X and this is Y. If you don't put them as the right variable, you will not get my slope. So make sure you can replicate this and it makes sense. So this is the formula for the slope, remember? I asked for the line, so I want the slope, then you can get the intercept and make the prediction line, calculate the residual. So I have exercises like this, you can follow along as you're solving. And then the R-square interpretation. Is there anything particular in here? But basically, I think you got to get this right and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I just want to double check that part.
Yes, I don't know. So if there's any language issues, please contact me and I will explain the best I can. I can call you or I can meet with you virtual. Because yeah, it's going to be in English. This test is going to be in English. Would you use this above regression line to predict the fat content of an item with 100 grams of protein? How do you answer that? So remember, the regression line only makes sense, only should be used in the range of values. The range of values go from and for protein, from 2 is the lowest to 57. And we're going to use it to predict fat. So it's saying, what if protein was 100? But this only goes up to 57. 100 is like 2 times the data. So that would be considered outside the range. Like anything, like even at 60, somebody could argue that's outside the range, but it's you could risk that one using 60, but 100 is too far. So you make a risk if something in the relationship changes outside the range of values, you are making a poor prediction. And it may not apply there. It might not even exist there. There may not even be a relationship there. So the example we had in the notes was for the length of the insects' fossils. And we can only have a fossil if there's actually a length. So anything 0 or negative, you shouldn't be predicting out in that part of the number line. Just because it's a line doesn't mean it's a mathematical line that goes forever.
Okay, that's what I was.
Truncated by the values, the range of values. I'm just repeating myself, which is fine. I can repeat. This one, okay, let's see. This one was okay, right? I don't know if you've done it yet, but
Yes.
so you go back. I think we did this and somebody asked me last week, yeah, why did I get 15%? I just used, these are mutually exclusive and I use the rule of adding them. Because you can't have both of O and A or A and B or AB and you can only be one of those. So they're all mutually exclusive. So I can just add the probabilities. I'm AB blood. Are there any ABs here? I'm rare.
Yes, that's like the rarest type.
It's the rarest type, yeah. Yeah, very interesting. I don't spend enough time in biology, but in another lifetime, I have sisters who are biologists, and it's interesting. They don't know anything about finance, statistics, or anything. Well, I mean, they know, but not really. But they know all this stuff. I don't even know what it means, but it's rare.
Or you can give blood to A, B, and AB.
Yeah, I can give
So
blood.
the higher scale.
I can give blood to A and to B, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm not supposed to. It's a long time.
Do I get extra points for it?
Yeah, knowing that. You have medical history, I mean, medical training, or you just know?
No,
Personal.
I just
Yeah, I was very sick when I was young and they always told me, no, don't give your blood, give your blood. So I never got into it too much, but I know I'm AB. It's probably the secret to my health issues, but I haven't had time to look into it. Okay, so this one was clear for people who tried it. For people who tried it, what kind of questions did you have? So for other people who didn't try yet, what they have to look out for? Nothing. It's clear. This one. So this is using the rules of means and variances. Everything here is before inference. This is all before inference. This is using number 2 on the formula sheet. And this rule that when I do the square root, if I have a rule that if you want to make the standard deviation smaller by a fraction of k, you need to multiply the sample size. So if you want it tighter standard, if you want a tighter estimate with a smaller standard deviation by a factor of k, then you have to make the sample size larger. And this is just giving you the rule. You got to square it. You got to square the k. So if it's 2, then it's 4 times. If it's 10, it's 100 times. Okay, and then I just use this standardization using the new information to work. And then this one was the hypothesis test. I think the one I can show you that confuse students sometimes is this one. Here I have S and I have sigma. Which formula should I use? 5 or 6?
5,
Right. Why should I use 5?
because you have sigma.
Because if I have sigma, I'm going to get an exact estimate as opposed to an approximate using S. S is it's like it's not as good an estimate. It's not as precise either because this T is more spread out than the Z. Okay, so that's a tricky one. I give you all the sample results, but thank God you have this information so your estimate can be better. So remember that. And for this one, the trick here is just remembering when you're doing a test of difference, you're comparing to 0 in a matched pairs. That's the trick there. And remembering you're working without a sigma, so you have to use T. And no matter if you have equals, greater, or less, the concluding step is always the same. You're looking to see if the p-value is smaller than 5%, unless I give you a different number. So my suggestion is to go through all the reviews before you start the test. If you don't have time and you just want to start the test, do that. But if you haven't studied enough, you might feel really overwhelmed. So do as much as you can of the reviews. Do you want to do some more reviews together? Or you guys want to go? You stay fresh, not burn out. Let me know. I have to go to a dance competition today. I mean, I'm not dancing. But watch. I've never been in a dance. Oh, I did do a dance contest once. That was fun.
If we leave now, will you post the test earlier or?
Do you want it earlier? I can't really because it's not fair, I guess. But you'll get it at 1. If you want to go now and then you want to ask me questions in the next couple of hours, you can Because you can do that. We can go like that, or you want to call me or something. That way you can just focus for an hour or so and get back to me. Text me, send me questions or problems you can't get resolved. It's up to you.
The weight kill us.
Oh, the waiting. Oh, if everything was here, I would do it. I feel bad because then you're gonna get an hour ahead of other people. I'm always trying to be fair. I know it's impossible to be fair because everyone has different circumstances, but I do my best. Because students complain. In the end, if I try to help, there's always complaining students. I gotta protect myself from complaining. And I have to ask you, please fill out the evaluation for the course at the end, because always the complaining students fill out the evaluation. It looks really bad.
Oh
So,
no.
I mean, you guys can complain. I'm not stopping you, but I'm saying it's usually the ones who don't come, or they can't catch up, or they're really behind, and then they complain at the end. And then I have to sit there and go, well, I don't know who that is, but I don't doubt they came to the class because I did all these things. So anyway, please take time to fill that out to offset the trolls.
We're the outsiders.
Yeah,
The outliers.
I don't mean to be rude to them either. I mean, they have a right to complain. It's just that if they haven't expressed themselves to the end, I don't see that it's fair, like all of a sudden I see these bad reviews and it's like, well, who are you? I don't know who it is. They haven't communicated to me. And then at the end, they take the opportunity to complain. It's annoying.
Where do we access the evaluation?
I think the director will send it to you.
Oh,
And usually like 10 people out of 30 or 7 fill it out, and it's half complete, not half, but at least the 2 meanest people will respond and then send something mean. So yeah, you guys, but if you have complaints, express yourself, that's fine. I just wish the students would express themselves earlier so that I can do something about it. It's too late by the end.
I personally didn't have any complaints, but I do have a question. Will you be giving the MECU class the next trimester?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, because that is like a continuation of this one, so it's also statistics.
Oh, you mean the next one for the next thing? No, I won't give you that. I think it's gonna be Jorge Ayala gives that.
Oh, but is it also statistics? Because it's like the same, but like with one number more. It's like MECU 6552.
Yeah, it's a different one. I honestly don't know what they do in there.
Okay.
I was trying to find
I don't know, but I think did somebody tell me? You guys can tell me what happens in there and if you're ready. Because I didn't do analysis of variance, but anything that I miss is going to be easy for you guys to learn and fill the gap. If not, you can let me know. But no one's ever complained. No one ever came back and said I wasn't ready for that class. So
okay, because it's math, right? It's like type of
it should be, yeah, it should be quantitative. That will be the category, quantitative methods.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah,
And if you're missing analysis of variance, just tell him. If there's something missing, just tell him we didn't learn that with her. She couldn't fit it in or whatever, and he'll fill it in. But I've never gotten a complaint, so.
no, usually on Bayamon, the UPR Bayamon, MECU is the math. Like
Yeah.
that's the
That's it.
math for admin. So
Must mean
I
something.
believe
Oh, methodos, no.
like MECU is the math in
Yeah, no, I'm
Bayamon.
trying to think of what it stands for. Quantitativa, I think it's MECU.
Uh-huh.
Métodos cuantitativos.
Quantitativos,
Yep.
yeah.
Like
Math.
this will be esta, like meaning estadísticas. So
Oh, you think this is esta, but they put it in MECU. Interesting.
Yes.
Here in Rio Piedras, that's interesting, yeah, because they have
yeah,
MECU for calculus, that's true,
The-
but called the MECU for statistics, that's interesting, I never realized until now.
the code's changing between the recintos. So
Yeah.
because
Oh,
in
actually, in my bachelor degree, statistics was ESTA too. So I don't know why in
I
the
don't know why.
MBA they put MECU on the.
but depends on the university
You know
because
why?
I believe in Mayagüez it's
Uh-huh.
different too. So it depends on the location.
I
On
think
campus.
that they probably called it MECU because there's only one stats course like this one. I think the other MECU is like a mix of stats and math and operations
Maybe.
research or something.
Okay.
No, I don't know that. I don't know the logic. I'm so bad. I should ask, but this program just started. This is, I don't know, like a couple of years now. This is the second, I can't remember now, a few years. And they just gave me this schedule that I had to teach these sections, and I've been so busy since the pandemic that I never asked what's in the next one. And I only knew about the next one from another student. Because the iMBA, it should be the same program as the MBA pretty much, but they did consolidate some classes and things, so I don't know. But anyway, let me know and let him know if you didn't learn something. Just say, you know, we didn't learn that. How can we review? Or you can ask me and I can give you a seminar. But I think if you guys are good at this, you're going to be fine in the next one. Most of anything like this is a foundation to do. Like I said, I gave you extra notes, so you have like you have a reference for other stuff that's related. So for difference of populations that are independent, you have a set of notes that you can refer. You're not you don't have anything to go
I have
to.
a question.
Uh-huh.
Will we have access to these videos and the
Yeah,
quizzes?
I think it's up to me to leave it open, and I can leave it open. I think let me see, you want it open till the end of your degree or till at least next semester? I think I can leave it open. I can choose. And then but try and download at least the modules.
Yeah, I have the modules and I printed them out with my notes and everything, but and we can see the videos through YouTube. But
And just you can find them under my channel and you can go through and they're in order. I don't have all the topics in order, but I have the dates in order. I should put more topics, but yeah, if you go through the list where I have let me change this, hold on. Like in here in module, oops, what happened? In module 3, like all these videos are by name in the playlist here, Stats Longobardi. So yeah, you have all those edited videos from 10 years ago, but the classroom ones are also available. Let me see if I can change that the platform is open for you
until 2024, maybe.
Yeah,
So
let's see
this-
what I can do.
Yeah, please. At the end of the MBA.
The degree.
Yeah.
No problem. Because it stays here. I don't even know how to get rid of some of them, so I might as well make them available. So let me change it to English just to avoid delay. Course management, course settings. Uh-oh, I have the 9th on here. So what do you want?
2024,
December,
November.
November. I'll make it December.
25 just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe January 25.
January 26th.
We're
Oh,
supposed
no,
to
no, no. December
We're supposed to
24th.
end. Where
in
is
May.
the
In
May?
May 2025.
That's
wait.
supposed.
Okay, so I'll leave it December 31.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you have any issues about entering, let me know because I believe I have control of this.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Whistle for you. Yeah. All right. Well, it was a great pleasure to meet you. I think you guys were, I shouldn't say it, but my best class in this program so far. And more engaged, but it's probably partly because I forced you to be. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think it worked out well from my end. And
Very much.
yeah, I enjoyed it, and I hope it's everything you need for the next courses and for the program. But if not, let me know about my deficiencies and I can improve, or we can meet and I can do like a seminar with you guys. I have the class list. I can invite you. We can do like something 2 hour virtual or 1 hour just to talk about something I skipped. I'll leave that to you to contact me. Any more questions? Let's see the chat. Chat. Okay, people are leaving.
Thank you for everything.
Thank
I
you.
was gonna
Yeah,
see you.
thank you.
But-
Say it again, Mari.
Huh?
Did you say something?
I was gonna say Your Honor because I work with judges.
Oh, Christina, you're
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I've been
Thank you
honored
for
that you
everything.
guys stayed and you attended regularly. You didn't have to, and I really appreciate your time. It makes me feel more at ease because I do worry about the students. I do absorb your suffering, so I try and make it. But at the same time, I want to prepare you. So it's yeah, unfortunately, it's a little bit pain involved.
Well, we learned a lot, I think.
Yeah, it was very helpful.
I hope my grade at the end is.
Reflects.
But I did learn. So
I'm so glad. And yeah, and keep the formula sheet, keep the keynotes that you prepared, as an outline for the future. That you can use this or refer to it, that you have a connection to statistics because it's out there. So much of our
Yeah.
life is regulated. And now AI is coming in and they're gonna take over. If we don't know any better, AI is gonna tell us what to do. So let's keep astute about research and about what all this what the world that surrounds us means. I know I understand there's a few engineering students in here, and for them, I guess it was like more of a review. But for everybody else, statistics is in our lives. And now I hope it's opened up to you a little bit more.
for sure.
Be a critical thinker. Hey, take care then. I guess I'll let you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Keep in touch.
Bye. Thank you,
Call me if
Professor.
you have individual issues. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.